Today, we are diving into the journey of growth, empowerment, and self discovery. This program is designed for those who are ready to take on challenges, build resilience, and develop the tools to break through personal and societal barriers. So, our goal in the Be Limitless program is to help you recognize and overcome limiting beliefs and habits that might be holding you back. Let's explore each of the key challenges together and build strategies to tackle them head on. So, let's get started. So, the first segment is about gender bias and the glass ceiling. So, first, let's just talk about gender bias and the glass ceiling effect. These are not just abstract ideas, they are real barriers that many women face in their careers. Gender bias can subtly influence everything from hiring to promotion decisions, often reinforcing the glass ceiling that limits growth. In this Be Limitless program, let's examine how these biases operate and, more importantly, how can we challenge them effectively. Let's start talking about gender bias and the glass ceiling effect. Two very significant barriers that affect many women's careers, often in subtle and sometimes unrecognized ways. Gender bias is the invisible filter that colors how people see each other, shaping expectations and judgments based on gender rather than talent, skill, or potential. It is a set of assumptions or prejudices based on gender, and it can show up in various forms, from assumptions about a person's abilities to expectations for behavior. For instance, research shows that women are sometimes perceived as less competent or capable in certain professional settings, especially traditionally male dominated fields. The bias can affect hiring, promotions, and even daily interactions, subtly reinforcing stereotypes and limiting opportunities. Gender bias isn't always loud, it's the quiet assumptions and double standards that can hold us back. So, the glass ceiling is a metaphor for an invisible barrier that prevents many women and minorities from advancing to the top positions despite their qualifications and abilities. This barrier isn't an official policy or rule, it's the result of accumulated biases, organization structures, and cultural norms that often make it harder for women to reach senior leadership roles. So, how does gender bias and glass ceiling impact women? So, it's obvious that these biases and barriers can affect both confidence and opportunities for you. For instance, research indicates that women receive less constructive feedback than their male counterparts, which limits their ability to grow and improve in their roles. Women are also more likely to be judged on their appearances or personality traits rather than solely on their performance, which can be frustrating and discouraging. You're thinking about the last time this happened to you, right? Don't worry, good things are ahead. Stay strong. Let's talk about challenging gender bias and breaking the glass ceiling. At Be Limitless, we are not just identifying these barriers, we are equipping ourselves with actionable tools to overcome them. First up, self awareness and self advocacy. To combat gender bias, we must first become aware of our own biases. Yes, even the ones we might hold about ourselves. For example, think about the times you've downplayed a success, saying it was just luck or no big deal. Many of us have internalized beliefs about what we can or cannot achieve based on societal norms. By recognizing these thoughts, we can start to challenge them. Then there's self advocacy. Learning to speak about your achievements, skills, and aspirations is not arrogance or bragging. It's about ensuring that your contributions are visible. Imagine this: during a team meeting, a successful project you led is being discussed, but your role goes unmentioned. Instead of staying silent, you jump in, highlighting the strategies you implemented and the challenges you overcame to achieve the result. Self advocacy means making sure our contributions are recognized. It's about claiming the space you deserve. We look at techniques for confidently sharing our accomplishments and standing up for ourselves in ways that feel authentic. Here are some powerful strategies to explore. Building self awareness. And this one is my favorite. I've used it all the time. Journaling exercises. Reflect on your achievements, noting not just the outcomes, but the specific skills and efforts you've applied. Bias discovery tools. Use self assessments to uncover internalized stereotypes that may be holding you back. Mastering self advocacy. Self advocacy, as I said earlier, isn't about arrogance. It's essential for ensuring your contributions are seen and valued. Let's consider an example. During a team meeting, your critical role in a successful project is being overlooked. So, what will you do? Rather than staying silent, you can confidently say, I'd like to highlight how I navigated the challenge to achieve this outcome. It's something I'm really proud of. Strategies for effective advocacy. 1. The IVU technique. Frame your success by starting with your contributions. I led the strategy. Highlighting team collaboration. We tackled the challenges. And reinforcing its value to the organization. You've seen the results. Think about a recent project and curate these statements for yourself. 2. Creating a brag book. Keep a log of all your achievements and share them during performance reviews, networking events, or professional discussions. Building support networks. Gender bias and the glass ceiling can feel isolating, but we are not alone. Building a support network of mentors, sponsors, and allies, people who understand and support your goals, can be transformative. For instance, think about the difference a mentor can make. Someone who pushes you into opportunities you might not have considered, advocates for your work when you're not in the room, and helps you navigate challenges. Research shows that women with strong support networks are more likely to advance in their careers. Overcoming gender bias and breaking the glass ceiling is not a solo journey. It thrives on connections. Strong support networks of mentors, sponsors, and allies can open doors and build resilience. Strategies to build and leverage networks. Finding mentors. Identify individuals who can guide and challenge you. Seek mentors in and outside your industry for a diverse perspective. Engaging sponsors. Sponsors are different from mentors. They actively advocate for you in professional settings, championing your growth. Forming peer circles. Join or create small supportive peer groups where you can share experiences, seek advice, and exchange opportunities. Let's do a practical exercise on network mapping. Identify key relationships in your professional and personal life. Highlight the gaps. Lack of sponsors or peer in similar roles? Which one is missing? Can you create a plan to expand your connections? Another way to challenge these biases is by actively working on changing the narrative in our workplaces. This can mean questioning stereotypes, offering different perspectives, and advocating for policies that promote equality, like transparent promotion criteria and pay equity. For example, think about how often certain leadership styles are associated with men, strong, decisive, while women in similar roles are labeled too aggressive or too soft. By actively questioning these stereotypes and offering alternate perspectives, we can shift the narrative. We can also address unconscious biases by encouraging open discussions, inclusive practices in our teams and organizations. Breaking through biases isn't just individual change, it's about transforming workplace culture. By questioning stereotypes and promoting equality, we can create lasting shifts. Here are some tactics for cultural change. Addressing stereotypes. When someone labels a leadership style as too aggressive or too soft, challenge it with a constructive perspective. For instance, you could be saying, can we focus on the results rather than personality traits? This approach has clearly driven success. Advocating for inclusive policies. Push for transparent promotion criteria, pay equity, and inclusive hiring practices in your organization. Becoming a role model. Your actions can inspire others, model inclusive behaviors, and stand up for fairness in team discussions. Now, also, let's look at how we can create a culture of openness. Number one, bias interruptions. Learn how to tactfully call out unconscious bias in real time. Two, workplace discussions. Facilitate conversations about equality and inclusion in your teams. Let's now also do a personal reflection activity. Take a moment to reflect on your experiences with gender bias or the glass ceiling. Consider the following: a specific situation where you felt impacted by these barriers, the thoughts and the emotions you experienced at that moment, how you handled it, and what you might do differently in the future. Share your reflections in a small group to exchange insights and strategies. Challenging gender bias and breaking the glass ceiling requires a blend of inner confidence and external action. By harnessing the power of self awareness, advocacy, networks, and cultural change, we can create a more equitable and empowering workplace for ourselves and future generations of women leaders. Let's commit to this journey, not just for ourselves, but as trailblazers for those who follow.